All right, welcome to the video here today for Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. My name is Brock Page, and I've been doing sports picks for free right here on YouTube since 2016. I also sell my personal sports bets on patreon.com/BrockPage. And you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my website is I actually share with you which one of these free picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally. Now, I currently have packages on that site starting at just $1.99. And the link for my $1.99 daily best play is in the description section below. And as an added bonus here, guys, if you sign up for that package here today, you're going to get access to that play every single day all the way until September 1st. Now, I currently have over 615 members who are signed up and active on my website right now. And if you want to see my current sports betting record, you can do that for free right now by going to the homepage. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Cards taking on the Cubs Game 1. That's going to be a 2:20 Eastern first pitch. St. Louis is minus 180, totals 8.5. Adam Wainwright for St. Louis. Javier Assad making his debut for the Cubbies. And regardless of how Assad pitches here today, the Cubbies simply just can't get the W at home. These guys are winning only 41% of their ball games at Wrigley. Their lineup's also having a tough time making contact with the baseball. These guys are in the bottom 5 in home strikeouts at the dish. Now they have to face Adam Wainwright here today, who's fanned 123 batters and has an ERA in the low 3s. The Red Hot Cards have also won their last 8 straight. And they lost only 3 games since July 30th. They actually went 17-3 during that time frame. And a lot of that is thanks to Paulie Goldschmidt. He's leading the Bigs with a .337 batting average. And he also ranks 3rd in runs batted in. Now Goldie also finds himself in the top 3 in the Bigs in both home runs and OPS. And no real surprise here, guys. This St. Louis lineup is in the top 3 in baseball in runs per game. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Wainwright's last 7 starts did get over the number. Meanwhile, the Cubs went 7-3 the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean towards St. Louis minus 180 and the over 8.5 in Game 1. All right, next ball game I have for you, it is going to be the Braves taking on the Pirates. And that's going to be a 7:05 Eastern start time in the Steel City. Now, Atlanta's the $2.80 favorite on the road, total 7.5 runs. Max Fried for Atlanta, JT Brubaker for Pittsburgh. Now, Brubs is just 3-10 on the season with an ERA in the 4s. And even if he pitches well, this is a Pittsburgh lineup who just can't hit the baseball. These guys are dead last in the National League in team batting average. They're also striking out more times a game than any other club in the National League as well. They're taking on Max Fried on the bump on the other side, and he's gone 11-4 this year for Atlanta. Now, the lefties also got a .260 ERA and a 1.05 whip. Meanwhile, as a team, the Bravos have won 8 out of their last 10, and they're leading the National League in home runs. Austin Riley's got 31 bombs on the year. Meanwhile, Matt Olson's also driven in 83 runners. When it comes to the total, the Braves' last 3 straight on the road all fell under the total. They're also 60% to the under in their last 10 at any location. I'm going to lean toward the Braves minus 1.5, under 7.5. Next ball game I have for you, it is going to be Reds Phillies 7:05 East. Philadelphia is the $2.20 favorite, totals 8 runs. Ranger Suarez for the Titans and Nick Lodolo for Cincinnati. Now, Nicky's got just 3 wins on the season, along with an ERA in the 4s. Meanwhile, as a team, the Reds have really struggled away from Cincinnati. These guys are winning only 37% of their road games. They're also facing Ranger Suarez for the Phils, and he's gone 8-5 thus far in the year. Now, the lefties also got 97 strikeouts and an ERA of .331. Now, the Phils have also done a real nice job at the plate this season as well. They're in the top 10 in the majors right now in scoring, and they're actually hitting more home runs a game than most clubs in the National League. Speaking of home runs, Kyle Schwarber leads the National League in homers with 34 of them. Meanwhile, teammate Alec Boehm, he's got the highest batting average in the lineup here today. He's hitting nearly 300 at the dish. Now, when it comes to the total, 3 out of Philadelphia's last 5 at Citizens Bank Park got over the line. Meanwhile, Cincinnati went 60% to the over in their last 10 at any location. I'm going to lean toward Philadelphia minus 1.5, over 8 runs. Next game, White Sox, Orioles, 7:05 East. Chicago's the $1.30 favorite on the road, total 7.5. Dylan Cease for Chicago, Austin Voth for Baltimore. And even though Voth has a little over 31 innings of work under his belt, that's it. He has certainly made the most of it. He's definitely done well in that short time frame. He's got 31 strikeouts already, along with a 2.84 ERA. Now, the O's have also been real tough to beat at Camden Yards this year. They have a .603 batting average in front of their own fans. They're facing a White Sox team on the other side who actually lost 4 out of their last 5 themselves. And in addition to that, they've been little threat hitting for power this year. As a matter of fact here, guys, these guys are hitting in the bottom 3 in the league right now in home runs per 9. When it comes to the total in this one, Chicago went 70% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, the O's on the other side of things, they saw 3 out of their last 4 on their own field fall under the line. I'm going to lean toward Baltimore plus $1.10, under 7.5. Next ball game, little Subway Series. I'm talking about the Mets squaring off against the Yankees, 7:05 Eastern start time. Now, the New York Yankees are minus $1.25, totals 8.5. Frankie Montas for the Bombers, Taijuan Walker for the Mets. Now, Walker's 10-3 on the season with an ERA in the 3s. The Mets are also winning 60% of their road games, and they nearly lead the National League in scoring. Pete Alonso's in National League best. He's got a National League best 102 runs batted in. He's also in 6th in the majors in home runs with 30 of them. Now they're facing Frankie Montas here today on the other side, who's got double-digit losses on the year. Now the Yankees also lost 6 out of their last 9, and they got shut out 3 times during that span. Now, the total went over in 3 out of Montas' last 4 starts. Meanwhile, the Mets went 4-2 to the over in their last 6 on the road. Let me rephrase that. The Mets went 4-2 to the over in their last 6 interleague road games. I'm going to lean toward the Mets plus 105, over 8.5. Next contest, it is going to be Angels-Rays, 7:10 p.m. East. Tampa Bay's minus 175, total 7 runs. Corey Kluber for Tampa Bay, Jose Suarez for Los Angeles. Now, Suarez has a losing record on the season, along with an ERA in the 4s. Meanwhile, as a team, the Angels dropped 6 out of their last 7, and they scored over 3 runs just once during that time frame. Now they're taking on Corey Kluber, who's got 111 strikeouts, along with a 1.17 whip. And out of 122-plus innings, Kluber's walked just 18 batters. Just incredible control here today, this year for Kluber. Now, as a team, the Rays have been playing some really good baseball here lately. They're 8-2 straight up in their last 10. And they've got a .629 win percentage at the Trop. Randy Arozarena leads the franchise in home runs and RBI. Meanwhile, Yandy Diaz is the club leader in batting average. And when it comes to the total, 5 out of the Rays' last 7 ball games at the Trop fell under the number. Meanwhile, the Angels went 70% to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward Tampa Bay, minus 175, under 7. Next ball game, little AL East action. I'm talking about the Blue Jays taking on the Red Sox, 7:10 Eastern first pitch. Toronto's minus 135, totals 9.5. Ross Stripling possible for the Jays, but not yet confirmed. Josh Winkowski also probable for the Bo Sox, but not officially confirmed as well. Looks like that could be the matchup here today, but Once again, neither starter confirmed by either club. But regardless of who throws out the first pitch, the Bo Sox have struggled at Fenway this year. They actually have a losing record at home right now, and they've allowed just entirely too many runs this year. As a matter of fact, this Boston pitching staff is in the bottom 10 in runs allowed per contest at home. Now they're taking on a dangerous Blue Jays lineup who won 4 out of their last 5, and they've had little trouble getting base runners. These guys are actually in the top 3 in the majors right now in team batting average. Of course, Alejandro Kirk, he's also hitting a club best 300 at the dish. Now, Vlad Guerrero Jr., he's got 26 home runs and 75 RBI. He's leading the franchise in both of those categories. When it comes to the numbers, 6 out of these teams' last 10 meetings got over the line. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to, think about that one there. I'm going to lean toward Toronto minus 135, over 9.5. Next ball game, little interleague contest here. I'm talking about Giants-Tigers, 7:10 East. San Francisco's the $2.25 favorite on the road, total 7.5. Carlos Rodon for San Francisco, Drew Hutchison for Detroit. Now, Hutch has gone just 1-6 this year with an ERA in the 4s. And even if Drew throws a good one here today, he may not get the run support he needs. The Tigers are dead last in the majors in scoring, dead last in OPS. They're also facing Carlos Rodon, who does nothing but strike people out. The lefty's got 179 strikeouts on the season. He's also 11-6 with an ERA in the 2s. And even if Rhodey struggles here today, the Giants have won 6 out of their last 10. They rank in the top 10 in the majors in road hits. Now, Wilmer Flores, he's also the team leader in runs batted in. The infielder has 59 of them on the season. And when it comes to the scoring, San Fran went 7-3 at the under in their last 10 outings. Meanwhile, the Tigers saw their last 3 straight at Comerica Park fall under the number. I'm going to lean toward the Giants minus 1.5, under 7.5. Next ball game I have for you, it is going to be Cards-Cubs Game 2. And that's going to be an 8:05 Eastern first pitch. Now, St. Louis is minus $1.25, totals 9. Jake Woodford for the Cards, Adrian Sampson for the Cubs. Despite some solid outings out of Sampy, the Cubs really just don't want to win for him. Out of 59 innings of work this season, Adrian Sampson has garnered himself only 1 win. The Cubs have also really struggled this year at the plate in many different areas. They're actually in the bottom 10 in runs per contest. And they're striking out more times a game than most clubs in the National League. Now, they're also facing Jake Woodford for the Cardinals here on the other side. He's 2-0 already through just 23-plus innings of work. So really not a huge body of work, but he's certainly made the most of what he's been given. Woodford's got a 2.66 ERA and a 1.18 whip. And like I said earlier in the Game 1 breakdown, this is a Cardinal team who can definitely hit the baseball. They're in the top 3 in scoring, top 5 in OPS. Now, when it comes to the total, I actually do think this second game does have the possibility of staying under the total. The Cards are actually 15-8 to the under in their divisional road games this year. And that's good for 65% in that category. So once again, the Cardinals 65% to the under in their divisional road games. Meanwhile, for the Cubbies on the other side, well, out of 10 Adrian Sampson starts this year, the total stayed under 9 times. I'm going to lean towards St. Louis minus $1.25, under 9 in Game 2. Next matchup, Twins-Astros, 8:10 p.m. East. Houston's minus 320 at home, totals 8. Justin Verlander for the Stros, Aaron Sanchez for Minnesota. Now, Sanchez has had a rough go of things here this year. He's got a 1.76 whip along with an ERA in the 8s. Now, the Twins have also lost their last 3 straight, and they have a losing record away from home. They're taking on a Houston club who's winning nearly 70% of their contests at Minute Maid Park. Now, these Astro hitters have also been very difficult to strike out. They're actually in the top 3 in fewest strikeouts per 9. They're also in the top 5 in home runs. Yordan Alvarez has a team-best 51 homers on the year. He's also 3rd in the bigs in OPS. Meanwhile, Kyle Tucker has a club-best 82 RBI on the year. And of course, if the bats if they get cold here today, Houston's still in good hands with Justin Verlander on the bump. He's 15-3 with a 1.95 ERA. When it comes to the total, no real surprise here. 8 out of Verlander's last 10 starts fell under the total. Meanwhile, Minnesota's gone 9-1 to the under in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward Houston -1.5, under 8. Next ball game, some more interleague play. I'm talking about the Diamondbacks squaring off against the Royals. And that's going to be an 8:10 Eastern first pitch at Kauffman Stadium. Arizona's -1.25 on the road, totals 9. Zach Davies for the D-backs, Johnny Heasley for Kansas City. Now, Heasley's sucked ass this year. He's just 1-7 with a 5.61 ERA. The Royals have also lost 7 out of their last 10, and they have a losing record at Kauffman Stadium this year. They're taking on Zach Davies on the other side, who's got a 1.22 whip, along with an ERA in the 3s. And even if Zach sucks today, the D-backs still have a winning record against the American League this year. Christian Walker is the team leader in home runs and RBI. His 29 homers actually ranks 7th in the majors. And once again, guys, when it comes to the pitching in this one, the D-backs, their pitching staff as a whole, they're actually amongst the National League leaders in fewest hits allowed on the road this year. Now, total-wise, Arizona's last 7 straight road games all fell under the posted total. Meanwhile, KC went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves at any location. I'm going to lean toward Arizona -1.25, under 7. Next ball game I have for you, it is going to be Rangers-Rockies, 8:40 p.m. East. Colorado's -120, totals 11. German Marquez for Colorado, Dane Dunning for Texas. And even though Dane hasn't been great, he does still have 108 strikeouts on the year. Now, the Rangers are also on a 3-game winning streak, and they got the W in 7 out of their last 10. Corey Seager's got a team-best 26 home runs this year. Meanwhile, Nate Lau's hitting nearly 300 at the plate, and of course, that is leading the lineup here today. They're squaring off against German Marquez on the other side for the Rockies. And, well, the pitchers got double-digit losses on the season. Now, Marquez also has himself an ERA in the 5s. Now, more recently, the Rockies as a team, they lost 6 out of their last 8 ball games. And they were shut out twice during that span I just mentioned. Now, when it comes to the scoring, Colorado did see 2 out of their last 3 Marquez starts get over the line. Meanwhile, Texas went 6-1 to the over in their last 7 Dane Dunning starts themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward Texas plus $1 over 11 runs. Next matchup, it is going to be Guardians at the Padres, 9:40 p.m. East. San Diego's the $1.50 favorite at home, totals 8 runs. Mike Clevinger for San Diego, Aaron Savali for Cleveland. And even though Savali's been a bit of a shell of himself, the righty's still averaging over a strikeout an inning. Now he's got 66 strikeouts in just 64 innings of work this year. The Guardians have also won 6 out of their last 10. And they've been the toughest team to strike out in the entire majors. These guys are leading the bigs right now in fewest strikeouts per 9 at the plate. Andres Jimenez, he also has the highest batting average on the team right now at 309. Now, teammate Jose Ramirez, he's been an RBI machine this year. He's 4th in the bigs and ribbies with 99. Now, they're facing a San Diego team on the other side who's really struggled in interleague play. The Pods are winning just 40% of their games against the American League. They've also had a tough time getting base runners at Petco Park this year. These guys are currently in the bottom 10 in home hits per contest. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the number, 3 out of San Diego's last 4 home games fell under the total. Meanwhile, Cleveland, on the other side, they went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward the Guardians plus 1.5, under 8. Next ball game I have for you, it is going to be Marlins Braves, 9:40 p.m. East. Miami's the $1.40 favorite, total 7. Pablo Lopez for Miami, Zach Logue for Oakland. Now, Zach's just 3-7 on the season with an ERA in the 6s. And even if Zach pulls a rabbit out of the hat, well, he's still backed by a horrible lineup of hitters. The A's are currently dead last in team batting average, and they're scoring only 3.4 runs a game for the whole year. They also have to face a very good pitcher here today in Pablo Lopez, who's done a real nice job with strikeouts for Miami. The righty's punched out 131 batters, and he also has a 1.17 whip. And speaking of strikeouts, this Marlins pitching staff as a whole, they actually rank in the top 10 in the majors in road strikeouts per game. Now, total-wise, the Marlins went 8-2 to the under in their last 10 outings. Meanwhile, the A's on the other side of things, they went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves. No real surprise with those numbers between both of those teams. I'm going to lean toward Miami minus 1.5 and the under 7 runs in that tight window. Next ball game, it is going to be Brewers Dodgers, 10:10 p.m. East. The LA Dodgers are minus 155, total 7. Tony Gonsolin for LA, Corbin Burnes for Milwaukee. And even though Burnes continues to mow him down, the Brewers as a team, they really haven't been great on the road this year. Matter of fact, these guys have a losing road record against National League opponents. They're also cashing in on the run line in just 42% of their contests while traveling. Now, they're taking on a Dodger club on the other side of things who's covered in 63% of their home games themselves. And, of course, when I say covered, I'm referring to the run line. Now, the Dodgers, they can also pound the baseball. They're leading the bigs in scoring and OPS. Freddie Freeman's hitting a team best, 321 at the plate. Meanwhile, Mookie Betts leads the club in home runs. He's actually, I think he's got 27 of them on the year right now. And even if these Dodger hitters have a tough time with Corbin Burnes here today, I'll tell you what, they have a good one in Tony Gonsolin on the bump themselves. He's been near perfect this year. Gons is 15-1 with a 2.12 ERA. He also has a whip of just .86. And when it comes to the total, Gons did see 4 out of his last 7 starts get over the number. Plenty of run support for Tony. Meanwhile, Milwaukee went 4-2 to the over in their last 6 on the road. I'm going to lean toward the Dodgers minus 1.5 and the over 7 runs. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It is going to be Nats Mariners, 10:10 p.m. East. Seattle's the $2.70 favorite, total 7.5 runs. Robbie Ray for Seattle, Eric Fetty for Washington. Now, Fetty has a 1.54 whip and an ERA just about in the 5s. The Nats have also had a tough time winning ball games on the road. These guys have a .366 win percentage while traveling. They're also facing Robbie Ray, who's got 166 strikeouts and an ERA in the 3s. This Mariner pitching staff is also leading the majors in fewest walks allowed per game at home. Now, when it comes to the total, Seattle's seen nearly 60% of their contests at T-Mobile Park this year fall under the number. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the Nats saw 3 out of their last 4 road games fall under the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward Seattle minus 1.5 and the under 7.5 in that tight window. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap, powered to you by my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. I like the Cardinals minus 180 over 8.5 in Game 1. Give me Atlanta minus 1.5 under 7.5. I like Philadelphia minus 1.5 over 8. Give me Baltimore plus $1.10 under 7.5. And before we continue with the free picks for Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022, just a reminder that if you want to see which one of these free picks on this video that I'm actually betting on personally, There's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. I like the Mets plus 105 over 8 and a hook. Give me Tampa Bay minus 175 under 7. I like Toronto minus 135 over 9.5. Give me the Giants minus 1.5 under 7 and a hook. St. Louis minus $1.25 under 9 in Game 2. Houston Astros minus 1.5 under 8. Arizona minus $1.25 under 7. Texas Rangers plus $1 over 11. Cleveland plus 1.5 under 8 runs. Miami Marlins minus 1.5 under 7. Dodgers minus 1.5 over 7 runs. And with my next and final free pick for the video, give me Seattle minus 1.5 under 7 and a hook. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today, just keep in mind you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today, you're going to get access to that membership every single day all the way till September 1st. I do always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. And guys, if you want to get access to every single bet, every single package, every single day, you're going to want to sign up for my board member package. It's an all-inclusive membership. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.